Okay, the Midwest might not have real mountains, but we definitely have a lot of ski areas worth checking out. So let's take a look at 5 of my must-visits across the Midwest. Without fail, the most common question I get from viewers, family, and friends is what my favorite ski areas are across the Midwest. And having visited over half of our 120 plus ski areas, yeah, I do have a few favorites, but we're not talking favorites today. We are talking about must visits. And when I say must visits, well, I mean just that. There is something unique or important that sums up the culture of skiing and snowboarding across the Midwest. In other words, if you had 5 days, a teleporter, and an out west skier, these would be the places that I would bring them to sum up our region. Although, if you had a teleporter, I don't know that you'd be skiing in the Midwest, but I digress. Now, I know that not everybody is going to have the same 5 on their list for must-visits, and that's totally okay. I actually invite you to drop your must-visit list down below, and we will do a viewer's must-visit video in the coming weeks. And make sure you stick around to the end because I think you'll be a little surprised on my last pick. Now, making this list was far from easy. It actually took me over a week to get everything kind of figured out in my head before I started writing this video. But I think you all know what my number 1 is: Lutsen Mountains. Lutsen Mountains is located in, you guessed it, Lutsen, Minnesota. Lutsen is roughly 4 hours from the Twin Cities area and about an hour and a half from Duluth. Boasting over 750 vertical feet, 95 runs, 2 high-speed 6-packs, and the Midwest's only gondola, Lutsen is the Midwest's biggest traditional ski area. Located right along the shores of Lake Superior, Lutsen has stunning vistas, and the drive-in is pretty amazing as well. If you love groomers, Lutsen is the place for you. Moose Mountain offers some of the best groomers in the entire Midwest and has a lake view to boot. On top of this, since this area is served up by a high-speed 6-pack, it's extremely easy to get in tons of vertical in just a handful of hours. And if you enjoy tree skiing, well, they have some of that in this pod as well. Some of my favorites come from the area just below the summit's chalet, such as Red Fox, Cedar Ridge, and Cowabunga. This area has a nice pitch with nicely spaced trees, making it the perfect spot for more advanced tree skiers. For beginner-themed tree skiing, head on over to Charlotte's Web, located on Eagle Mountain, which offers up the perfect spot for those just getting into tree skiing. And speaking of Eagle Mountain, if you enjoy steeper terrain, head on over there to check out the runs on the western side. You can find a great variety of steeper runs that are now served by their brand new high-speed 6-pack, Raptor Express. In the springtime, Harry Carey offers up some amazing bump skiing, so be sure to be on the lookout for that as well. On top of all of this, traveling to Lutsen just feels like you're going to a destination ski area. The combination of having a remote location, Lutsen's size compared to other ski areas in the region, and its beautiful setting makes this my number 1 must-visit across the Midwest. Number 2, Mount Bohemia. Okay, I can hear the pitchforks coming out already because if you follow this channel, you know I actually haven't been to this ski area yet, but there is no doubt that this is a must-visit. Now, this ski area isn't for everybody, hence their marketing material, but those that it is for, it really is something special. Mount Bohemia is located in Mohawk, Michigan, way up in Michigan's UP. Not only does Boho boast over 800 feet of vertical drop, but it averages over 270 inches of natural snow, making it the Midwest must-visit powder destination. Bohemia focuses on intermediate to advanced skiing and snowboarding and does not have snowmaking or grooming, meaning if you exclusively enjoy groomers, well, this is not the place for you. But what they lack in grooming, they make up for in steep terrain, ridiculous amounts of natural snow, and gnarly cliff drops. Despite only having 2 chairlifts, Bohemia has a surprising amount of skiable terrain thanks to its bus system, which picks up skiers and snowboarders that leak through skiable areas not covered by their chairlifts. On top of the skiing and snowboarding, Mount Bohemia has an opry vibe that is unlike anything else in our region, featuring a full Nordic spa, heated pool, hot tub, and fully stocked bar. You'll have plenty to keep you busy after your day of skiing and riding. Additionally, Bohemia is just a little bit different. Maybe it's the mixture of a bare-bones skiing experience coupled with its die-hard following, but it's one of those places that never gets left out when having a conversation discussing Midwest skiing. There is no doubt that Bohemia offers the steepest and gnarliest terrain in the Midwest. This, coupled with the ridiculous amount of snow that they get regularly, means that you could have one of the best days of skiing in your life here. However, their greatest strength is also their greatest weakness. During low tide seasons, you best bring your rock skis and a case of beer. Which is exactly why I haven't crossed it off my list just yet. I'm waiting for that perfect opportunity. Some might see the boom or bust aspect of boho as a negative, but I actually think it's part of the reason that people love it so much. It's unpredictable, but has a chance of being a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And even though I haven't been there yet, this is a ski area that just had to make this list. Number 3. Boyne Mountain. Boyne Mountain is a ski area that many have a love or hate type attitude about, which I don't quite understand why. I think it's more that they just might not understand the target audience here, but we'll talk a little bit about that concept with our next must visit. Either way, there is no denying that this ski area is one of the most successful and influential in the Midwest, and even the country. I mean, this ski area started Boyne Resorts, which owns some of the biggest ski areas in the country. Not only that, but Boyne has paved the way for many industry innovations, including several world's first in the chairlift department, pushing snowmaking innovation, and helping create the Midwest's first full resort, including lodging and amenities outside of just skiing. All that aside, Boyne Mountain is a very solid ski area, ranking as one of the biggest in Michigan's LP. Boyne Mountain is located in Boyne City, Michigan, just over 3.5 hours from Detroit. Boyne boasts nearly 450 vertical feet, 65 runs, and one of the most advanced chairlift lineups in the entire Midwest. This includes a high-speed 6-pack, which was actually the country's first, and the Midwest's only high-speed 8-pack. The variety of terrain at Boyne is great, ranging from easy long greens to direct fall line pitches. Skiers and riders will find the main front face of the mountain served by the 6-pack super lappable with just the right amount of pitch to rail turns and make it back to the lift with ease. More beginner skiers and riders will find D8, their high-speed 8-pack, a delight. This area has a great variety of blues and greens that beginners will really enjoy. But what makes Boyne so great is what it offers outside of the sport of skiing and snowboarding. From early on, Boyne was built to be a family destination, a place that you come and spend an entire weekend with plenty to do for everybody, rather than just driving up for a day. This vision has really materialized into something for everybody. Shops, bars, restaurants, a spa, and even a ski-themed water park. And they're all within steps of their lodging, making this a one-stop shop for families that enjoy skiing, but also might want to have some things to do off the snow. Boyne blends the sport of skiing and family travel extremely well and has been doing so for over 75 years. We know that this isn't going to be for everybody, and not everyone's going to use the spa or drop in the big couloir. The water slide at the water park. But you have to respect Boyne Mountain for what it is, and truthfully, the skiing is really good as well. Meaning, yeah, it's definitely a must visit. But that brings us to our 4th must visit, Nubs Knob. I could have put a few different ski areas in this spot, but Nubs was the one that just kept coming up again and again in my head. We just talked about a ski area that has it all, a water park, a spa, even a library. Well, Nubs focuses on one thing and one thing only, skiing and snowboarding. Well, I guess that's 2 things, but you get the point. Nubs is located about 35 minutes north of Boyne Mountain in Harbor Springs, Michigan. This is just over 4 hours from Detroit. Nubs boasts just over 400 feet of vertical drop, 53 runs, and 8 fixed grip chairlifts. As far as skiing operations go, Nubs is one of, if not the best in the Midwest, and actually probably the entire country. Their team takes a ton of pride in their work, and everything, and I mean everything, is meticulously maintained and upgraded to ensure guests have the best experience. Nubs builds their own snow guns, and every season they typically add at least a few to their fleet, assuring the best snowmaking available. Additionally, they are on a regular rotation when it comes to snowcats. Typically every 3 years they are purchasing a new cat to ensure that they have the latest and greatest when it comes to grooming technology. I mean, just look at this picture of this snowmobile. It pretty much sums up exactly how much their team cares about the guest experience on snow. These little details are what really elevate this ski area to the next level. The skiing here is also just fantastic. Stats do not do this place justice because I feel it skis a lot bigger than some people might think. The front side has some amazing pitch with runs like Smoky and Scarface. Then over at Pintail Peak, which kind of feels like a whole nother world, intermediate skiers and riders will find awesome tree-lined groomers. Nubs also has some amazing glade skiing, and with some natural snow thrown in the mix, you'll find some awesome turns in the SC Glades, Pintail Glades, and my biggest insider tip, the Arena Glades, but don't tell anybody about that. And there's one more thing. Their beginners area, aka the Purple Lift and the Space Worm, their conveyor, is completely free to new skiers and snowboarders. Yeah, like completely free, including all ages. You just need to come with your own equipment or rent. I mean, how amazing is that? Nubs is a prime example of how to run a strictly skiing and snowboarding operation. They reinvest heavily, but do so in a way that focuses on the user's experience on the slopes. Nubs is the place for those that don't need the fancy extra amenities. They just want the best possible conditions for a great day of skiing and snowboarding. It's also a prime example of how a ski area that isn't impressive statistically can be world-class by focusing on those small details. It's without a doubt a must visit in the Midwest. So, what is my final must visit in the Midwest? Well, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. This fifth spot, oh man, it could have gone in a lot of directions. As I'm sure a lot of you know, the Midwest ski scene encompasses a lot of different elements, from accessibility to destination-style ski areas. But when thinking about it, it became pretty obvious that Highland Hills rightfully earned this spot. Highland Hills is an urban small ski area located in Bloomington, Minnesota, less than 20 minutes from Minneapolis. It boasts just 150 feet of vertical rise and 14 runs. So why did it make this list? Well, it sums up accessibility, lappability, and potential in the Midwest. Let me explain. We have over 120 ski areas across the Midwest, and many of them are small community or urban ski areas. You know, the ones that often don't have the best stats, but surprisingly offer a lot more than many people think. And Highland is a prime example of this concept. This hill has produced tons of professional skiers and snowboarders, and that's because of its accessibility and lappability. For those who haven't experienced the park or racing at Highland Hills, you are missing something pretty amazing. Watching hundreds of skiers and snowboarders just consistently move uphill, lapping runs demonstrates what the Midwest is all about. Come to Highland on any weekday after 4 p.m. and you will be amazed at the sight that you will see. I guarantee it. Moreover, Highland and ski areas like it introduce more kids to the sport than any mountain resort ever could. Pretty much every school day, mid-morning or early afternoon, Highland welcomes hundreds of kids to their Learn to Ski programs as part of school trips. This is the type of thing that keeps our sport sustainable and alive for generations to come. Additionally, Highland Hills has become world-renowned in the snow sports industry for its park setup, which includes one of the most iconic rope tows in the world. It's often the first stop for any pro snowboarder or skier when they fly into MSP, and is often raved about by snowboarding and free skiing publications. Their park is not only one of the most trafficked in the Midwest, but it also is the most changing I have ever seen. Last season, which was the 23-24 season, they had 214 feature swaps on their main park. For context, they only operated 100 days last season, meaning yes, they swapped out over 2 features on average every single night. Please name another ski area that does this. The answer is none. Sure, it doesn't have the best skiing or riding if you're just looking to rip around, but its proximity to the city, park culture, and cult following earn it a must-visit spot in my top 5. But what do you think? What am I missing, or what would you swap out for these ski areas? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and maybe it'll make it into our upcoming video where we're going to take your lists and compile them to see if there's any differences. But until next time, I hope all of you have a great week. Pray for that snow, and I'll see you out there.